Welcome to episode 4 of season 2 of Our Darling Town, the podcast where we explore the heart and soul of Darlington through its local independent businesses and the people that make it special. I'm Henry Carver alongside my brother James, and we're here to shine a spotlight on our beloved town. Join us as we sit down with the passionate local people to delve into their stories and uncover the unique contributions they make to our community and to find out more about the town where we live. Get ready to be inspired by the people and stories that make Darlington truly special. Season 2, episode 4.
Excellent. More guests today as well?
More guests today, yeah, but hasn't it just gone in a blink of an eye?
It has.
Genuinely. I remember the very first episode where we were sat here wondering what on earth we're going to do, what we're going to say.
I know, and I met somebody yesterday and he said, I listened to your podcast. I'd never met the guy before in my life. There was like a tedious connection. I think he knew someone that you were at school with, and he said, I listened to your podcast. I was like, oh, wow. So, yeah, signed an autograph. It was
brilliant.
yeah.
I also bumped into someone who listens to and obviously watches the podcast, and he made a very funny comment about the way that you hold your cup. He said
like this?
He said it's like a cute old lady.
No, it was because there's aircon up there and it's bloody freezing in here, so I'm like sitting here shivering. So
I think there's a picture on one of the Instagram tiles,
like
and you just like this.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Like this.
Yeah, exactly. Very funny.
I'm conscious of that now.
You are, yeah. How has the last couple of weeks been for you? Busy?
Yeah, very busy.
What have you been up to?
All sorts, lots going on. The Fine and Country thing seems to be going well. Got
Yeah.
some exciting,
Some
big posh properties.
Big posh properties coming
on the
on.
market. Yeah,
Very good.
Lettings market is good. And we had a day at the cricket at Chelsea Street.
We did,
which was really good fun.
Yeah, England levelled the series 2-2 in the one-day internationals.
Yes,
But then unfortunately had a washout Sunday.
Yeah, lost it on Sunday.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, hey-ho.
Yeah, but it was a good day. We were going to go in fancy dress, but decided against it.
Yeah, and then
I think it was a good move.
Yeah, I was wearing all my layers, but then it turned out to be ridiculously hot.
You went
at times.
from wearing a vest to wearing like hat and gloves. So it was pretty much 4 seasons in one day, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, there's a song about that, isn't there?
There is. Yeah, Simply Red.
No, Crowded House.
Crowded House.
And yeah, you've been for a meeting. Now, I've got on the notes here, you've been to a meeting at Blackwell Grange for a schools project, and I genuinely have no idea what that is. So what is it?
So we got an email last week from a lady at Carmel School from the Enrichment Partnership Project, I think it's called, which is effectively trying to get local businesses more involved with schools in and around Darlington. So they're doing something called the Big Project, which they've actually run since 2017, set up by an engineering firm from Stockton called Jacobs. And effectively, there's 10 sort of schools in and around Darlington. They put teams together of varying age groups of pupils, and they get paired with a mentor, so someone from a local business or organisation. And they compete against each other. And I think this year it's to do with what Darlington is going to look like in 2040. So it's supported by Darlington Borough Council, Darlington College and Teesside University. And they've highlighted that a lot of people aged between 25 and 35 are leaving Darlington. So the people that are going to be sort of entering this competition in 2040 are going to be in that area. So it's about how to retain youth in Darlington.
Love it.
So I've put my name forward to be a mentor. So hopefully I can give some sort of guidance and value. So yeah.
Yeah, well, someone has to come last, don't they?
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know how competitive I am. So you won't see me at work. I think the finals, there's 3 rounds and the finals in March. So basically the next 6 months off
well,
to focus.
Who's going to mentor me then if you're doing...
True.
your attention's going to be elsewhere.
That's true.
What on earth am I going to do? And award. We've been nominated for an award.
We have, yeah.
Congratulations.
Best podcast in the universe award.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's not. It's not.
Do you have the official award category?
I've got it written down, yeah. Did you get an email or...
Yes. I got an email from Darlington Borough Council, and it basically says, well, I can read it. Dear Henry and James Carver, I'm delighted to tell you that you've been nominated for a Stronger Communities Award and have been shortlisted as a finalist in the category Bringing Success to Darlington. So, yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I think that's a huge achievement.
Yep.
I guess this is exactly what we're trying to do with this podcast, trying to highlight how amazing this town is, and as the preamble suggests, the people that are within the town that make it what it is. So it's great to get some sort of recognition. It's great. So we're not doing it for the awards, we're doing it for genuine reasons, that we love where we live and we want to give back, really. So thank you to Darlington Borough Council, even if we don't win.
So we'll go to the awards ceremony in November.
8th of November it says, and have a couple of beers and enjoy the evening.
Exciting.
Should we get a guest on?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
A warm welcome to our guest today, the dynamic duo Alex and Jeanette McMurray from Maggie's Coffee and Kitchen. Nestled on Duke Street in Darlington, Maggie's offers delicious homemade breakfasts, brunches and lunches with an ever-changing menu. With over 35 years of combined experience in hospitality, Alex and Jeanette bring their passion for good food and warm service to life in every dish, from signature brunches to mouth-watering cakes and tray bakes. So grab your favourite cup of coffee and settle in as we dive into the world of Maggie's Coffee and Kitchen with Alex and Jeanette.
I think you said enough.
I'll start with the first question. I was having a chat last night with my wife and kids, and I said I'm interviewing people from Maggie's tomorrow. Have you got any questions? And the first question out of my 6-year-old's mouth was, "Who's Maggie?"
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I genuinely, obviously he wanted to know who Maggie was.
Oh, yeah.
So let's start with that.
Go on. You've got the history.
No, so it's there was a lady who the first time it got made into a cafe, she bought it, and she was called Margaret, and she's from Darlington. And it was my favourite place to go to with my mum friends, so we would always meet there, and then we've always been in hospitality. So I always thought to myself, if I was ever to get a cafe, that would be where I would want my cafe. So that's why I love that place. And then when it went on the market the second time, we were lucky enough to be able to get it. So I bought it when it was on the market. And because everybody knows of it as Maggie's, on Maggie's Place, it was just like daft to try and change it, because in history with places, people always just revert to how they remember it. So my mum friends would always still call it Maggie's. So we just kept it as Maggie's. We didn't see the point of rebranding it.
Yeah.
And then people would still call it Maggie's, so we just kept it. So there is no Maggie.
Well, there is. She's in the...
There is a picture in the toilet in the cafe of a cow that was painted by a Darlington artist, and that cow is called Maggie. So there is a picture.
There is a Maggie.
But it was
in the toilet.
So it's from Margaret, who used to run the cafe.
Yeah, so Margaret used to own it, and then she sold it to another lady, and then we bought it off the other lady.
Yeah, Margaret's just doesn't have the same ring to it,
No,
does
it
it?
doesn't, no. And then we've had the catering company, Alexander McMurray Catering, so it's just too many names. So we just kept it as Maggie's.
Yeah, if everyone knows a place as that place,
Yeah.
why would you change it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to put our name on it, which neither of us are that bothered to do.
No.
Yeah.
I've had my name on a company for
A long
20-something
time.
years now, and
Yeah.
I don't
But it's-
want it anymore.
It can sometimes be a benefit not to have your name on it as well. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're quite happy just to keep
So
it.
Maggie-
And then a lot of people say, "Who's Maggie?" And then we thought about getting a T-shirt to say, "Not Maggie." Or
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
wearing not Maggie, because a lot of people
Yeah.
say,
That's a
"You
lot.
must be Maggie," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm not Maggie."
or just have a T-shirt. Who is Maggie?
Yeah,
Or
who
have
is
you
Maggie?
seen
Where's
Maggie?
Maggie?
Yeah, where is Maggie?
We
Yeah.
had the same conversation with Steve at Harvey's.
All right.
He often gets called Harvey, doesn't
Harvey.
Ah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. So it's quite funny.
he?
No,
Absolutely.
done.
So that was what year? 2018.
We bought it in 2018. Yeah.
So tell us life before that. How did the catering side of things all come about?
Well,
There's two stories. 'Cause
Yeah.
we both went through college. I mean, I started in Darlington College, believe it or not.
Tech, which is no longer that.
Yeah, which is now a housing estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, God, how old are you? But, so I did that. I did 3 years there. Took the qualifications as far as I could go as chef, and then went off to Newcastle and did a diploma up there. And I got a placement for 6 months as part of that course, and that was at Headlam Hall, which is where I met
I was
Jeanette.
already there. So I'd been to college and come out of college, got a job in hospitality straight away. I went to college and did hospitality. Paid off my overdraft, because back in those days you didn't have student loans. Paid off my overdraft, and then I got the job at Headlam Hall. So then I was at Headlam Hall as assistant manager when you came. So there's a little bit of an age difference. So I was assistant
Much
manager.
older.
So I was assistant manager, and you came on your workplace, your college placement,
Yeah.
and then we're really good friends for a long time. So we've been in hospitality for a long time. I was at Headlam, which I loved. Headlam, everybody knows Headlam Hall, don't they?
I worked at Headlam as well.
Did you?
I did.
We both
yeah,
did.
Yeah,
Did
both
you?
did. I think you did one shift, didn't you?
I did about 6 weeks.
Really?
I did about 4 years. Henry did
Did
6
you?
weeks.
Wow.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
years did you work there?
It was probably 2004
Right.
onwards. So it was like after university.
Yeah.
I think I did a bit before university.
Yeah.
And then all sort of through like holidays and things. And then when I finished university, I did probably 6 months there, just sort of
Beautiful
working.
place.
It's brilliant. It's great
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But I used to sort of do waiting and bar work, and it used to be all the weddings and Christmas parties, and it was absolutely hilarious
Crazy.
to watch people rock up all really, really smart and see
Yeah.
things.
And
And then
where's
when they
our
go home, not so
Christmas
much.
party this year?
Oh, it's Headlam.
Yes.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was always, it was never, I mean, when you got there, and it was hard work, but to drive from Darlington out to there and get out your car, and it was just so beautiful, and yeah, the people that owned it are lovely, and yeah, it's just really lovely memories. Really, I love going back there.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah,
And we got married there,
And we got married there, so we had a wonderful wedding there in 2001.
fantastic.
Yeah,
which is the year I left,
yeah.
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
happens.
And then straight from there, what did you do after Headlam? Did you set up by yourselves?
No, I was at Headlam. I went straight in after college, and then within a year, the head chef had left, basically, and they offered me the head chef position. And I held that for about 3 years, and I just thought I needed more experience, so I took a job. I just left there, took a job in a place in Durham, which was Cathedrals.
Okay.
You maybe didn't hear about it because it was only open for about 6 months.
Right.
It was a huge venture. It was about 50 chefs, and there was food on 4 different floors, and yeah, it didn't last very long. They made a lot of chefs redundant, and somebody offered me a job in Yarm, so I just was like, this ship's sinking, so I left.
Yeah.
And I went to Yarm. You were still at Headlam, and we opened a restaurant which was Yarm 85 years ago.
Yeah.
Again, people know places for that. Then it became McKee's. It's now Chenna.
Yep.
And I opened that with some of the chefs. Simon Ledbetter from the Mountain, he was one of them that came.
From Cathedrals.
And I did that for about a year.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I can do something for myself. So
It was like 24/7, wasn't it? It was just like
yeah,
it was such
you
hard
lived
work.
and breathed it,
Yeah, you
which
did.
is hospitality, really.
Yeah.
So then in 2003, just thought I'm going to do something for myself. Started off just doing parties and lunches in and around the town, and then we picked up weddings and more parties. And you get to know with the right people, and it just kind of snowballed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there. And yeah, we got very busy,
Yeah.
Very big.
very busy.
Yeah.
And then we, in 2010, we got the opportunity to take on Lingfield Point.
Yeah.
So we had the 2 cafes there,
Yeah.
one on site, one in the student loans. That went again.
Captive audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is, but it wasn't very successful at the time we
Really?
took it on. Yeah, and
No,
I
when
mean,
we took it over, it wasn't.
and it just ballooned for us. Because we just pushed. You know, I'm one of these people that just wants to keep moving forward, and
Yeah.
it just got bigger and bigger. We ended with about 18, 20 staff.
Wow.
And I mean, we had the cafe on site, we had a kiosk in another building, we had trolleys going around the building, and the site was growing at that time.
Yeah.
You guys will know it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
then,
huge, isn't it?
2018, they all decided to change.
They did.
We've
people
been
that
there
we
for 8
knew,
years,
yeah.
and they took the decision that we just want to see what else we can get. And the people, big companies, contract catering companies came in, and I was like, well, they put in bids where I couldn't make any money. I'm not doing it for nothing.
Yeah.
So we moved on.
And then we got Maggie's.
Yeah, and you got Maggie's.
Fantastic.
So tell us about the first few weeks and months that, 2018, you've just got the keys to Maggie's. What was the first thing that you got stuck into?
Decorating.
Yeah.
Changing colour. just to put your own little stamp on it, so people knew it was obviously somebody different in there.
Yeah.
So we just changed the colours. Pardon?
Change the menu.
Change the menu.
A little,
Yeah.
a little at a time.
Yeah, because you didn't want to scare off the regulars, but we just tweaked the menu slightly, introduced some of our favourite. We are a massive brunch people.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a really good brunch and then not eat again until later on in the day, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So we've always, our breakfasts at home are incredible. We just love a really good brunch.
I was thinking about this the other day. You know, when you go to either stay in a B&B or a hotel, and you wake up the next morning, I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you open the door and you can smell the toast and the bacon and the sauce. And I thought, oh, that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited by brunch.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to do food that you're excited about.
Yeah. So we wanted to change it to that kind of thing anyway, but it was very much a toasty scone cake place. So we just gradually started introducing more and more brunch type of things. And at that point, you'd been offered a job. You were working over at Cummins.
Yeah, I missed that bit. Yeah, I spent 2 years, just under 2 years at Cummins.
Yeah.
When we came out of Lingfield, a friend that we have who has a catering business has Cummins site.
Contract game.
And there was an opportunity, so I took it, went for it, but that all came to a halt when
During
2020 came along.
Yeah.
And then
Which kinda changed things a little.
It did change things a bit, and then during lockdown, obviously Alex was a massive support because we were struggling with all the regulations and what you were allowed to do and not allowed to do and kind of thing. So then you came on board to Maggie's more, and then started helping me. And there was only myself, our daughter Charlotte, and you in the kitchen, and we were gradually just doing the takeout, trying to get a bit of an income through that, and then we were allowed to do some sitting in, and you had like 4 tables.
3 at one point.
Yeah, so it was just like the gradual
Crazy.
building it back up from there, which was obviously a little bit stressful because the rent had to be paid regardless the whole way through, and same for a lot of people. But then we were quite lucky because then you made the decision, or the decision was made that you left Cummins. And then we were lucky enough, then you came on board back to us, and then the menu just changed completely again, because Alex is just like dynamic with his ideas, and he's just like, oh, should we try this, and we'll add a bit of this. So, and we obviously always take it on board, and we just change the menu again.
It's always a softly approach. You can't just go wading into somewhere, because otherwise you're going to not isolate, but
Alienate.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can't do that. You've got to hold on to your core supporters, as it were, and then just quietly try to bring more people in. It's just evolved.
Yeah, it's evolved
over the years.
And what is it about the location on Duke Street that attracted you? Because you always used to go there yourself. So why was it Duke Street?
I think it's a good place to be able that you can walk to it quite easily. The parking around it was quite good as well. But then it's just Duke Street is, I think, one of the best streets in the town. I think there's so many good businesses, independent businesses on Duke Street, and the amount of support you get from those alone, I think it's just a really lovely little community of people just popping in and then saying, well, I do this here, and what about have you tried that there? And I just love where it is. And then also it's got the glass windows, so you can just sit there and people watch. It's just a lovely location.
You've got outside seating now.
Yeah, we have.
That's recent.
That was last September.
Sounds like the story behind that.
No, it's just last September. Well, it's like one of those things, isn't it? Everybody's like, oh, you need to get outside seating. And then obviously through COVID, people were saying, if only you had outside seating, but we didn't at that point. So then it was like something that we had to do because everybody thought it's the thing. And it's brilliant and it's lovely.
We had to fight for it, though.
Yeah.
Kind of, because you know the road.
The road
you guys
used to
Duke
be
Street.
dual road, but
So
now
then
it's single, apart from a cycle lane, which is going the opposite direction, which makes no sense to me. But anyway,
let's
no
not
comment.
talk about that.
Edit that bit out. Anyone ever seen a bike on it?
Once or twice.
delivery vans.
Delivery vans park on it all the time.
That's it,
Cars
it's
park
an
on it.
interesting place to be. And then again, because we've got our glass windows, we see an awful lot of things going on. Near misses.
But as part of that, whatever you want to call that, road being done, we kind of, there was consultations. So obviously I asked the question, can we get a little patch of pavement? We can't put it on Duke Street because Duke Street's too busy.
Yeah.
But we could put it on Outram Street and got I was like, well, that's one table. What about a bit bigger? So then we ended up with 3 tables. I mean, it's not
nice.
massive, but it's nice. It looks good.
Yeah.
And for people driving down the street, it gets your attention. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Hopefully, it gets your
It's
attention.
Absolutely.
it's the queues of people that get my attention.
Yeah.
There's people on a Saturday morning.
Oh, it's crazy.
There's queues of people.
Yeah.
So can people book, or is it just sort of walk-ins only?
We do bookings, and again, that's something that happened through COVID. So before COVID, it was no bookings; people just walked in. But now we kind of like reserve half of the cafe, and then we always keep half of the cafe free for people to walk in.
Yeah.
And then so that's the way we work it, and the staff know that half's for people walking in and that kind of thing. So, but people never believe it. Then people will think that we're the whole building, and then they'll come in and there's a table upstairs, and we're like, no, that's flats.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like,
I don't think they'd be too happy if you walked in.
yeah.
9 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
No, I don't think so. So yeah, it's just Saturdays are absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
The phone doesn't stop ringing, and we try and say to people, if you want to book, then you need to book the day before. I think that's just the best thing to do. But then on a morning, if you want to come down, then come down, but you be prepared to wait for a table if you want to wait, and if you don't want to wait, then that's fine. There's plenty of other places to go.
It's just the greatest compliment, though.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
It's like, I mean, you've got your Google reviews and you've got your, what is that other one called? I don't
TripAdvisor.
That's the one. And you've got all that, but what you have just described as queues outside is the greatest compliment.
Yeah.
People are interested and who want to come and try it.
People
and
wait,
we've
people
got
come back.
People come from
Yeah.
far
Yeah,
and
they
wide
do.
in the county so to become a destination for people to come to.
Yeah.
That's
People
blows my
call us
mind.
now a destination cafe. So it's like people are coming to Darlington because they've heard of Maggie's and they come and then they'll go into town or whatever they want to do. But that's what people.
just
start
just
calling.
so grateful,
it's
you
brilliant.
know.
There's
I've
a-
got clients at Neesham that come quite often.
Yeah.
You'll probably know them, but I won't say it, obviously.
Yeah.
But they come quite often. They mentioned that that's their sort of go-to on a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's quite a few businesses that we've been speaking to. So we had Nick and Gemma from Stable Hearth on, and they were saying that people travel from all over the place to come and try their pizzas, which is brilliant. All
It
on
is
the same
lovely.
street in Darlington.
It
So
is, and it's such a lovely street. So, like, hopefully, when people come and they see what a lovely road that is, a street that is, they think, "Oh, well, Darlington's a really nice place to be."
Yeah.
So it is, and there's so many different businesses. It's just like it's a good buzz, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
it's nice.
Who came up with the genius marketing idea of giving away a free coffee to a random name every week? Was it?
It was James on Friday, and I missed it. One of my colleagues sent it, and I was like,
It's just
I'm out and about.
it's absolutely
I've
mad.
heard that so many times.
People are
And do you
messages.
take ID? Do you,
birth certificate.
No, we just take
It's just
ID.
Christian names as well because we've had that.
People say, well, it says my second name.
What's
so
my
can I have it?
James is my surname.
I've
Well,
had-
sorry.
we get
Because I could
requests.
come next week and it could be Adam.
Yeah.
exactly.
We get requests. People will actually message us and say, it's my such and such's birthday. It would be lovely if that was like, doesn't quite
No, it
work.
doesn't
like
work.
that. Just, and it is
It
just
comes out of a
literally.
completely
random-
random machine.
We have a chat.
Vibrates, basically.
It was Alex's idea, and it was absolutely brilliant. It really is. And then people just walk. They'll walk down the street and double back to check what the name is.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
well, that's another quite nice thing to see because I stand in the kitchen, I can see straight out the front door, and you'll notice a lot. Like my peripheral is quite. There's a lot when there's a lot going on. I can still see what's going on, and I see people stop and then double back and go. Just walk
Not
off.
today.
But it's also likely. I mean, it's a genius marketing idea because they'll likely take a picture because the chances
Yeah,
are
they
they'll
do.
know someone
Yeah.
with that name. They'll send it to
Yeah.
them, and guess
Yeah,
what?
they'll come down.
You're getting free advertising.
Yeah.
You're giving away, I say free, the price of
Yeah.
a coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it
so.
is lovely.
We
It
did,
is.
we did the most successful one was with the students. And it was
Touch your, I don't know.
it was touch your toes, wasn't it?
Touch your toes.
Touch your toes, you get a free coffee.
We, had,
And
we,
there
we
was
gave
about
away
30
so
odd
many coffees.
I mean, that's not the best marketing idea.
No, I know, but
Just
it
put
was.
it out
But
there.
it is if you want to get
You should have said
students
sing
in.
a song
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Just a little bit more embarrassing.
We've had Father's Day. If you can come and do a dad dance.
Amazing.
And I've had to come and stand and do a little dad dance at the counter.
I love
and we
that.
quite like those when we do it a bit different. Or if you've got flip flops on a rainy day, Or if
Which
you've got
happens,
which happens,
Yeah.
or a brolly on a really hot sunny day. So we do stuff like that as well.
Brilliant.
So it just turns it up a little bit.
Bit of fun.
It's good. It's good
Yeah.
fun. We love it more than anything.
Yeah.
It's just, isn't it? It's exciting.
The dad dance is great.
Yeah, that's good fun.
When's Father's Day?
Yeah. So the Saturday before Father's Day, we were like,
But you need to.
It's a regular thing.
But you need to video them, and then you need to have a competition to have the best dad dance.
some of them were just downright, no, I'm not doing that. So.
That's the downside. Is it gets when you do something like that, it gets quite busy. And
Yeah.
then when you're busy, you don't think, I need to, because we used to take
Yeah.
pictures and
Yeah.
stuff, and then
Here's
forget
what,
about the marketing. side.
handstand down the street. Do that
Yeah,
one next, and
cartwheels.
you'll have Henry and his CrossFit pals doing handstands down the street.
We tried to do cartwheels, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, well, no, we thought about doing
Yeah, I think it's
cartwheels.
a bit
I think we
dangerous.
thought it was a bit dangerous.
Here's somebody who's walking down the street.
Yeah.
You won't have a lawsuit
Yeah.
on your hands.
I know,
No
exactly.
liability taken.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Put that on the bottom.
So you mentioned your favourite sort of food type and meal was brunch. Well, both of you did. Talk to us about your sweet treats and your cakes and your tray bakes, etc. Who bakes them?
Myself and Kerry, the lady I work with in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We're a good team. We constantly looking for new ideas, although some work and some don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The traditional ones, people love the traditional.
Victoria
like,
sponge.
yeah.
People love
Carrot
Victoria
cake.
sponge.
People
Yeah.
come
Classics.
just
Yeah.
for that, yeah.
Yeah.
And our staple one now is Guinness,
Chocolate Guinness cake.
chocolate Guinness cake,
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Fantastic.
which
It's
I
absolutely. We go through loads a week. It's just everybody
it's
loves
always
it.
on the counter, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if it's not, there's
Yeah, if
We have
it's not
problems.
there,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
like it, yeah.
so yeah, we bake them.
Yeah. So is that your favourite then, the Guinness cake?
That and we do a cappuccino cake
Right.
and the carrot cake.
And apple cinnamon.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
you
I
like
that.
Well, you judged our Carver's
Yeah.
Bake Off,
Which
it
was
three
difficult.
three
And I know
years
you
ago?
can still hold it against me.
Yeah.
Did you get him in a row?
I think I came second that year, but it was a
He
bake
lost
off.
his crown. He was devastated.
It was
Really?
I won it the first year with the Victoria sponge cake.
Yeah.
Then I came second, and then last year I don't think I came anywhere. And this year we just had it last week.
Yeah.
I know I
and-
didn't get the call. I was
No,
thinking,
we
oh,
had,
been elbowed. He
We had to
wasn't
mix it
happy.
I should have had you on. And I had a better chance. I burnt mine. It was terrible.
Oh,
so-
really?
But we probably had I think we had about 15 or so entries, which
Wow.
was fantastic,
Really
and
good.
raised about £110 for Macmillan,
Brilliant.
which is really
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah,
yeah, so
it's-
all I ate all day was cake. It was brilliant,
Yeah,
very good.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
So,
good. It was good standard.
Yeah.
Really good.
Going back to Maggie's, your opening hours or days, Wednesday through to Saturday.
Yeah,
Was that always the case, or was that always the plan, or has that sort of evolved?
it's evolved.
Why?
We opened, or you opened when you first started, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And then obviously COVID, and that changed things. So we went back because we have a core staff.
Yep.
And it works.
Yeah.
And it works really well with that core staff. So we're all there together. We're all holiday, not together, but we're all off at the same time.
close.
Don't
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
the same resort.
Yeah.
So when you're there, you just know each other
Work
in
as a
and
team.
out and
Yeah.
work as a team. So
And if you open longer days, you'd have
Yeah.
sort of part-time members and...
And it just
Yeah.
doesn't, and I think, and then we've gone down to 4 days this year. So I think it was January this year we went down to 4 days, and that's because we've got elderly parents and we want to enjoy
it's
time with them.
it's a work-life balance.
Yeah, it's a work-life
It
balance.
always has been. I mean,
Yeah.
we started the business in 2003, and our first child came along 2004, and our second in 2005. And we've tried to work it around them as much as possible because we're family people,
Yeah.
and we come from good families, and we're very close. And when Lingfield came along,
It was
they were-
perfect.
it was perfect because there was school years that
Yeah.
came into it, and it's we've been lucky that we've been able to
Yeah.
mould it around that, and now we're moulding it around ourselves. It's getting that work-life balance
For us,
really
getting
for
a bit
us
older.
because we open 9 till 3, but there is work goes on
Yeah, yes.
either side of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which
You've got to
don't
bake
know
the
whether
Guinness
everybody
cakes.
realises.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You don't just rock up at 8:30?
No, well, yeah.
Honestly, we don't. So yeah, we were working. We maybe have one day off, pretty much.
Right.
originally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now we get a couple of days off,
Yeah.
and today
Today is a word day.
today is
in
I'll
theory.
be doing work basically and getting things organised and
Planning for the week ahead.
Yeah.
And the random name may be Henry this week. I'm not sure if
All
you
right.
well, it can't be now, can it?
Definitely. Well, this doesn't get released until Friday, perhaps.
All
so
right, okay. We'll see.
So do you get a chance to get out and about in the town, as in go out for evening meals, etc.? I asked the same question to Nick and Gemma last time, and they said, well, they're open. Basically,
Yeah,
the days
they
that
are.
they would normally go out
Yeah.
would be, the Saturday, Sundays or
Yeah.
Fridays, but they're
Yeah.
open, so they can't. So do you get a
Yeah,
chance to
we do
get
get
out and
out.
about?
Yeah, we do get
Do
out.
you have a regular place, or do you like trying different places?
We do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Different
we go
places.
far and wide, to
Yeah,
be honest.
we do. Travel.
We're
Yeah.
very fond of a
Sort
place just across the Pennines.
All right,
that
sorry.
I don't like
the
to mention
ladies'
too much
race.
because otherwise everybody goes. And so we go there and
we
we
yeah.
go out
What
in town.
You'll
and-
be good at Chester's by the river, dear. You been there?
We've been to Chester's. Yeah, it's not one of our favourites.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I'm
It's
quite
nice. It's
fond
very
of-
busy.
I quite like my meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know what?
yeah.
It didn't used to
problem,
be,
isn't it?
It didn't used to be vegetarian,
No,
but
I
obviously
know.
in recent years it has changed.
Yeah.
And I went there not knowing that it had changed. I was going for a meet up with some friends. We're going to go for a nice brunch.
Yeah.
But I had one of the nicest vegetarian meals
no,
I've
yeah.
ever had.
And there is some amazing,
It was amazing.
vegetarian food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It is nice there.
yeah. But no, in town we'll go to Stable Hearth, we go Salty.
Yeah.
Very fond of that place.
Yeah.
But it's mainly drinks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not that we're big drinkers, but we tend to just go out for drinks a lot.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we do like our brunch.
We like to go out for brunch. We go up to Newcastle, we go to places. Our daughter's in Northumbria University, so we'll meet her up there and go out for brunch. And she's living in Jesmond.
Oh,
So, yeah, so
But-
she's having a whale of a time.
no doubt.
So there's some lovely places up there.
Where I spent my
Yeah.
university days.
Yeah.
At Northumbria and in Jesmond, yeah.
So
So
she's having. So there's some
Poor
really nice
boy.
places.
It wasn't,
yeah.
it wasn't so much brunch, it was more like a Greg sandwich, probably, I think, for breakfast.
oh, if we
If
were
that.
lucky.
Yeah.
Well, they have a
That'll
different
be-
culture now,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
completely
Right.
different.
Yeah.
She's-
It's they do
yeah.
quite well. She eats out more than us.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, without a doubt.
Quite annoying.
'Cause there's a lot of student discounts up there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
discount
You're
cards.
trying to
and things.
reassure me.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
So Henry and I obviously work together,
Yeah.
and we get on well most of the time, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll say that. How do you guys get on at work? Have you
I
had
knew this
any?
question would
Do you
come.
ever bicker? Are you the boss, Jeanette? Are you?
Not in certain areas, maybe, but I think we're just equal. We're just equal all the way. I mean, I respect. He's an amazing chef. He's probably the best chef I know and I know how dedicated he is to what he does. So if he says something regarding the food, then that's that kind
Yeah.
of thing. I would never ever argue with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I can be a bit of a nightmare.
yeah, he can be.
I don't, but I'm
An
quite,
artist.
He's very
there's a little bit of
passionate.
that,
He's very
yeah.
passionate about what
Yeah.
he does. He'll put a special on at the weekend, and if a customer comes in and asks to alter it, he gets quite upset. But it's just like, then I'm the
I'll
person
do
who'll
it
go, well,
because
you
that's what we do.
Yeah.
that's what we do.
We're
So
there for the
just
customer
calm him
at the end of
down,
the day.
and this
Yeah.
is just the way it is.
Yeah.
So we just balance, don't we? We balance between. It's
Yeah.
always been that he's the kitchen and I'm front of house, and that's
Yeah.
the way it's always been. So we've just got a lot of respect for each other, haven't we?
Ultimately, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
And we do try and keep work at work and home at home, because
Yeah.
obviously we're married and we've got kids as well. So it's really important to try and do that. It's not
Yeah,
always
it's hard-
possible.
hard to do.
Yeah.
It's,
not
a,
always
it's
possible.
an unwritten rule in hospitality, or in our world anyway. And Simon's a good friend of ours from the mountain, and you just leave it at the door.
Yeah.
You don't pick it back up when you walk back through the door, man. You've
Yeah,
got to leave
yeah.
it, and it's gone, and then you move on, and
Yeah.
that's the mentality that you have to have.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really hard,
Yeah.
and not between us. I mean, something might happen at work, and it'll just burn away. But you've done
Yeah.
100 and odd brunch plates, and there might be one that and it'll be that
Yeah.
one, and
Yeah.
it burns. You're like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
But that's just the perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it can cause me issues that I'm constantly striving for for perfection all the time and never really getting it, which is why I'm always pushing forward.
Yeah.
But now I've learned to accept that,
Yeah.
doing all right. There's a queue at the door on a Saturday morning.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's taken a long time to get them.
Yeah. we touched on before about Google reviews and TripAdvisor and things. I guess you get quite a lot of positive feedback, and you get positive feedback at the time. Does that filter through to you in the kitchen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the girls out front, they always
Every time there's
ask.
comment.
Yeah.
They ask, was everything all right?
Yeah.
And so you're getting that immediate feedback, and I'm
Best
can hear
bacon
it.
sandwich in the whole of the town and stuff like that. People just say lots of really nice stuff all the time about the food, and we always relay that back to you.
Yeah.
The whole people putting reviews on, it's lovely, but it's also, you can get some ridiculous reviews put on there as well, which can anger you. But that's the world today, isn't it? People are allowed to put reviews on wherever they want, whenever they want.
I saw a post this week. I think it was on Facebook, and it was a coffee shop, and there was a big blackboard outside, and it said, "Come and try the worst coffee that Karen from Stevenage has ever tried in her life." Or something like that. And I was like,
I think we got a review once. Somebody put something on somewhere and put, "This is an awful, dreadful cafe, and every single time I go in, they get their coffee wrong." And that's like, well, why'd you keep coming back if we keep getting your coffee wrong? It just doesn't make sense. And I just put on, well, if you let us know, then we'll make sure we get it right.
Yeah.
You know, our communication.
Yeah.
It's just people would rather go and post something on social media.
We'd much rather they came to us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're quite receptive people, I like to think.
we had a 1-star review, and it was somebody saying that a house was on the market for too much money. They hadn't viewed the house. We don't even know if they're looking. And they said, "How can this house be worth that much?"
Yeah.
And we sold it in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
it was bizarre. Yeah.
People just, it's maybe more
We've had
about
something
them.
like that.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't get through. There was a queue, and they couldn't get. They didn't want to have to wait, so they gave us a 1-star.
Yeah. But it
You
does.
can't give us- you can't. That's not our fault. You haven't actually got across the threshold.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand it personally, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's been your most memorable moments? You've been in Maggie's, you can expand it to all of catering if you so wish. Has been any, apart from awkward clients, any funny moments?
I don't know.
That's a good question, isn't it?
You-
We're still making them, really.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Still making them.
The dad dance thing's got to be up there, I imagine.
The students touching the toes.
Yeah.
I particularly like it when we do a special every Saturday, and some people are annoyed because we only do it on a Saturday. That goes back to that. But then you put something on and people go, "Oh no," and I'll be super passionate about it and think, "No, we're going with it." And when it goes and it sells, and I'm going,
Yeah.
"Thank you very much, that one worked."
Brilliant. Just dusting off. Love it.
So yeah, they're good for me. Yeah, and when you try and the beans that were being
the
asked to put
campfire
back on the
beans.
campfire beans,
Yeah.
and that was we're a little bit, will that work? And then so you try it. Ultimately, things get tried as a special, and if they go well, they tend to feed through, and that went really well. But we took it off, and people were not happy because you've took it off.
We try and make it seasonal a bit, don't we?
Yeah, and so then we'll bring it back. Because it's about the right time of year for something nice and hearty and warming.
I think for me it's the fact that it's a coffee shop, so you get people coming in having the same coffee, and you know who they are and what they want, and you can judge what they're going to have to eat, and it's just you make so many nice friends, regulars, people coming in, and I think out of all my catering career, I think now in Maggie's I really feel that warmth when I know people so well, and they'll come back and they want to support you, and I just think that's really nice, isn't it?
Fantastic. What does the future hold? Any exciting plans that you can share with us?
That we'll keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're just really happy
And
with
keep
what we
constantly
do.
trying to do it even better.
Yeah.
What's on the special boards for Saturday?
I haven't decided yet.
Ah.
That's your job today.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I wouldn't tell you anyway. So.
Thanks, we'll have to come in.
You have to keep watching the socials.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Brilliant. Have you got anything else to run through? We're 42 minutes in, you know.
No,
Told you,
Wow, really?
told you to go fast.
Yeah,
Well, no, just thank you very much for joining us. And congratulations for your successful business. And
Yeah.
hopefully we can get your name out there a little bit more and the queue's a little bit
That'd be
longer. And
appreciated,
But yeah, nice to sort of meet the faces behind Maggie's
yeah.
Absolutely.
and hear your story. So
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.